Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm currently filming this on Thanksgiving Day, so I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. Today I'm going to be teaching you how I make my empanadas. I'm going to make chicken and beef, and these empanadas are perfect for the holidays, for Noche Buena, Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, whatever you celebrate. And I don't mean to be biased or anything, but these empanadas are delicious. So let's go ahead and get started. To begin, I've laid out all of my ingredients, and I'm also going to use some fresh garlic. And I took this garlic and I mashed it up in my pilon. And I'm going to start by making my chicken empanadas. Here I have some chicken tenders. I'm just going to take these out of its package and chop them up a little smaller so that they cook faster. After my tenders are all chopped up, I'm going to wash them with water and vinegar and some lime. And now it's time to season them. I'm taking my fresh garlic paste and putting about 2 tablespoons of this, saving the rest for the other empanadas. I'm also going to do some Dominican Sazon, and my mom actually brought this for me from DR, and I'll put pictures of what I think is in here. But if you would like a Dominican Sazon recipe, I'll have one linked below in my description box. Next, I'm going to do some onion powder, and I'm going to be very generous with my seasonings. I'm also going to add some adobo, some ground oregano, but if you can find Dominican oregano, that would be even better. I also have some black pepper and some soy sauce. Now I'm coating all my chicken strips with my seasonings and mixing it together. And I almost forgot to put in my sazon, and this is culantro and achiote, basically for a little bit of color, but I also like the flavor that this brings. Now that my chicken is seasoned, I'm gonna wrap it in aluminum foil and put it in the fridge to marinate. And right after this, I went to class and I came back and I gave it about 5 hours in the fridge, but if you could do overnight, that's even better. Before moving on, I'm going to disinfect and wipe down my station where I prepared my chicken. And a little hack, after I'm done wiping with this blue rag, I put dish soap and disinfectant on it and I pop it in the microwave for 2 minutes to get rid of all the bacteria. Next, I've laid out all of my fresh vegetables. I'm going to be using some green peppers, red bell pepper, white onion, and some fresh cilantro. And I'm just going to chop all of my veggies and leave this prepped before going to class so that I can come back and just prepare everything really fast. And these fresh veggies are going to go in my meat once I'm done cooking it. I think that the addition of fresh veggies is what takes my empanadas on another level. This is how my mom taught me how to make them, and since I don't want to just chew on peppers while I eat my empanadas, I'm going to chop these really thinly and finely so that they just become super incorporated into the meat. I actually decided to add some aceituna or olives, and I'm only going to add this to my red meat or my beef, and I'm just going to chop this very rough and put it in a separate container. And this is totally optional, but I actually like olives on my carne molida. So this is everything chopped up: my green and red peppers, my white onion, aceituna, and my fresh cilantro. Okay, so a couple of hours after class, I came home and I prepared my meat. I put down some oil and then ended up removing some because I realized I put too much. But I'm starting with cooking my chicken, and when one half is cooked, I'm just gonna flip it over. And I don't have a particular time where I cook my chicken. I just check the temperature inside and make sure that the internal temperature is at least 165, and that's how I know it's done. Now I'm gonna multitask and start cooking my beef. I put down some oil, and I'm gonna start by putting in my Dominican Sazon, around 2 tablespoons of this, and I'm also going to add my fresh garlic that I tucked away, and I'm just gonna use all of this garlic and then mix this together and let it cook in the oil for a little bit. Now I'm just gonna add my ground beef, and I'm gonna begin by separating and mixing it into the seasoning. Now I will add my powder seasonings. Here I have adobo, black pepper, onion powder, soy sauce, and mixing it together. I seasoned this the same way that I seasoned my chicken, except this time I meant to put some white wine to tenderize my meat, but I totally forgot. So if you have red or white wine, I suggest that you add this for tenderizing and for flavor. Now I am removing almost all of the fat out of my beef, because honestly I am good without all that extra grease. Now that my chicken has reached a cooked internal temperature, I'm taking it out of its pan, and I'm just gonna chop these up into smaller pieces and putting it back into the pan. And you want to shred your chicken so that it fits better into the empanada discs and so that it becomes easier to eat. Now that my beef and my chicken are done, it's time to put in my fresh vegetables. I'm gonna start with my white onion, and I'm just splitting the content in half. And I'm also gonna add my red peppers and green peppers, and I'm mixing this together. I'm also gonna add my fresh cilantro, and even though I didn't show this, I also did add my olives into my beef. So I took out my defrosted and store-bought empanada discs because I did not feel like making my dough, and I'm using my sharp cheddar cheese to go along with my meat, and I'm just gonna stuff these with some chicken and some cheese, and I'm very generous with my filling. I don't want to be eating an empty empanada, so when I close it, I tend to struggle with closing it. That's how I know there's enough stuff in there. Now I am closing my empanadas with a fork, and you want to be very firm when you do this because you want to avoid the empanadas from opening when they are frying, because it just becomes a huge mess and then oil gets inside the empanada and it becomes ruined. Repeat this process about 12 times because there's 12 discs in total, and I just filled it all with chicken. And I'm gonna proceed and do the beef. Now it is time to cook these. I'm going to put down some vegetable oil, and I'm just gonna let this heat up. And I'm going to begin by cooking my chicken empanadas. I'm just laying them down in the oil, and once one side is cooked and browned, I'm gonna flip them over to the next side. I repeated this process until all my empanadas were cooked, and I was invited over to someone's house for Thanksgiving this year, and I brought these empanadas with me, and everyone that tried them said that they were delicious, so I highly recommend this recipe. If you do end up trying these empanadas, don't forget to tell me how it goes in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on my next video.